Well, thank you and welcome again to the Mesa City Council meeting for August the 29th of 2022. I'll note that all of our council is present. We will begin the meeting with an invocation led by Reverend Derek Elliott with the Desert Heritage Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Will you pray with me in your tradition as I pray in mine? Loving and caring Creator, I give you thanks on behalf of all who are gathered here tonight. Thank you for the many abundant blessings you have bestowed upon us. Thank you for our ability to be and involved in this viable work in the community. I pray for the spirit of truth and compassion to be with them during this meeting. Give them the vision and the courage to do what is best for the city of Mesa and its community. Oh God, remind us of this day and always that if we are to be the greatest, we must become the least. And that if we are to be leaders, we must become the servants of others. Let the zeal of justice and righteousness guide them as they govern their best to serve the community at large. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. We have a few items to take care of before we begin our agenda. First, I want to welcome the Mayor's Youth Committee that is present with us in council chambers today. We've got, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera at home, but we've got some wonderful Mesa High School students from various high schools in our city that participate in this program all school year, culminating in an event where they give us feedback as a council, and we oftentimes, quite frequently, incorporate the ideas that comes from the Mayor's Youth Committee into the way that we do business. So, guys, good to have you with us. And I think prior to this afternoon, you've had an opportunity to meet with some of the council members and city staff people, and look forward to continuing to work with you guys and introduce you in a significant way to the city. Also, we have two items on our awards and recognitions agenda tonight. First, we'd like to recognize the Mesa Fire and Medical Department for earning their reaccreditation from the Commission on Fire Accreditation International. This is our department's 25th year being accredited, which means that they are committed to continuous improvement through evaluations, compliance, and assessments. We're also recognizing Mesa Fire and Medical Chief Mary Camelli for being elected Executive Board Chair of the International Fire Service Training Association. She is the first woman to be elected to that position, so congratulations. That is the organization that produces fire training and educational materials for departments across the country. So congratulations, Chief Camelli. Your role in this international association makes Mesa proud. I know that also Councilmember Freeman, a former peer of yours, would like to offer congratulatory remarks as well. Mr. Freeman.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief Camelli, for all you do. You know, I have to have a little dialogue here so I get it right. But I want to say I appreciate all our department directors and everything that you do, because our department and our city is just phenomenal. With that, thank you, Chief, for your dedication to make sure fire departments across the United States have this great opportunity. I mean, if you don't know about IFSTA, IFSTA is probably in every firehouse in the United States, Canada, and probably elsewhere, because it's a well-used publication, and I even used it and got promoted as well, so I know it works. With that, committee members are all volunteers, and they participate in the process, and they chose you, Chief, as their peer and chair for IFSTA. So that's an awesome just accolades for you. But I want you to know that Chief Compton reached out to me telling me about it, and this is what he said. IFSTA is so fortunate to have a nationally recognized fire service leader and professional such as Mesa Fire Chief Mary Camelli to lead the executive board and guide the work of the association. Congratulations, Chief. And we'd like to also extend our congratulations. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Chief, do you mind coming up to the podium and reflecting on the accreditation and anything else that might be on your mind?
Mayor Giles, members of the council, Mr. Brady, thank you so much for supporting this process. It means a lot to us and a lot to the city and to the citizens we serve to know that our processes and what we do, our programs, are really effective. We were accredited, a peer team comes out, they stayed with us for an entire week, combed through every bit of our business, and we were happy that they did that. They came out and said, we've done amazing work. We continue to do amazing work. Thanks to you for your support, your ongoing support. We sat in front of a commission. Mesa was first accredited in March of 2001. August 17th, we were in front of a commission of 9 members. Scott Butler was beside us, and they recognized us, unanimously voted again to accredit Mesa Fire again this is going to be our 25th year, our 5th time doing it. But I do want to recognize my staff that's behind this. There's a whole team that does this work behind me, and if they would please stand. Deputy Chief Steve Ward, he's done accreditation for us 3 times now, and he retires at the end of next month. When he retires, Julie Bigler, please stand, Julie. She's going to be our new accreditation manager. Tara Cunha is our deputy director over planning and research, and Jason Taylor is our data scientist that is behind all that. And you will see Assistant Chief John Laughlin back there. He is moral support during this entire process. But also I want to thank all the men and women on the Mesa Fire Department for what they do every day, because they are the ones that keep these programs running and keep us serving the citizens to the best of our ability. So thank you for the time and the recognition for this.
Thank you, Chief. I think Chief, I'm going to let you go down and take a seat just so I can invite you to stand up and come back out to the podium. Let's go take a photo op of this. But we just want to, again, say how much we appreciate. We know how much work goes into this accreditation process, but it's time and energy and money well spent, because what we get back in exchange for all this work is really a top-tier elite fire department, and we recognize that and appreciate the professionalism of the Mesa Fire and Medical Department.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mayor.
You bet. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. Not used to it. Thank you. We're very proud of our fire department. They're top-tier department, and appreciate all the effort that went into that reaccreditation. Tonight, we are also celebrating Mesa being recognized as an International City of Peace. This effort was led by Mesa resident Dr. Ruth Lim, who's here tonight to tell us a little bit more about this designation. Dr. Lim, would you please step forward? Yes. Dr. Lim, tell us about what it means to be an International City of Peace and why we should all be so proud of this. You might need to pull that microphone
I'm
down
short, Okay. All right. Thank you, Mayor, and all the City Council, and thank you for this opportunity to share with you the story. So it all started many, many years ago. So for your background, I'm a practicing physician and live in Mesa for 42 years. Many years ago, I went to serve at Operation Desert Storm. That was 30 years ago. When I came back, I have a passion for peace and nonviolence. And my goal was really to promote the new generations so they can take on this baton and continue on, like the Olympics. Because, we are going to retire and we're going to get old. So I figure if we can empower this thinking and make it like things that they have to do is one of their advocacy traits. So I began organizing the, what they call the task force for the Week Without Violence with my Rotary Club. And thank you all the Rotarians that supported me. And so we've been doing it for at least over 20 years. So we have a peace poster, poetry contest, and activities for the kids. Now, the next step is that when I saw Peoria and Sedona become International City of Peace, I said, hey, we should be able to do it. So then I went to research it. So in order to get into this historical moment, to be recognized, we have to meet 5 requirements. So the 5 requirements are, number 1, you have to have a letter of intent. So I gathered the letter of intent with the signature from my peace groups. So who are they? So my Mesa Sunrise Rotary Club, a Children's Benefit Foundation that I organized, then my church group, and then I also have what they call the Mesa PD, and we have Mesa Community College, leadership that supported us. So with that, we could launch it, and of course, we have helpers along the way. The next thing is to gather all your activities that you said you have done it. So then that is the tough one, but eventually we did it, we gathered enough, and that's why we got a picture of Dennis Kavanagh with a peace pole, and all the peace poles that we placed in different places. So they accepted it. Then the next thing I have to find a liaison. So I myself is a liaison. I have another liaison that I met recently, Paula. She's a citizen of Mesa. She's a nurse, so she joined me, and we now have 2 liaisons for this project. And then the last one is actually the best thing is from your right-hand woman in your department. She made a statement of the historical and current peace legacy of Mesa, and we all know that that's the Alton House. So we have to really recognize that. So now, what is the International City of Peace? So now that you join the club, we're the 362nd city. It's actually a very interesting grassroots organization. So this is what they say in a mouthful. They are association of citizens, government organizations who have by proclamation, resolution, or by citizen advocacy established their communities as official cities of peace. Every community has a legacy of peace, whether it is by a historical event or by local heroes or groups, and we have groups here. We have contributed to their citizens' safety, prosperity, and quality of life. The key is when you have peace, you will have prosperity. It's just hand in hand. So now our work has begun. So I want to empower everybody here, including the council and the mayor, that we have to think cool about peace every day, and it is good to also promote peace. Then you have to learn from Mother Teresa, peace begins with a smile. And then together we can then create this awesome community for all. All right, and I want the people that's with the peace group to stand. They are behind me. And then I also want to promote an event coming up. Yes. So the event coming up actually is on October 8th. So we have the Governor's Proclamation for the Week Without Violence. And so I wanted to share with you that we will have a big event at Mesa Community College on August 8th. Hopefully we'll have enough kids to go on stage. And I think Councilman Heredia, I hope you'll show up, to do that. Okay, that's all we have, okay?
So what's the date of that event?
October 8th.
October the 8th. Okay, thank you.
And then I was told that they have a certificate for your city hall.
Yes. Yes, we're very proud of this beautiful certificate that the city received commemorating this achievement. And so council, everyone who's been involved in this, please join me at the podium and let's take another photograph to commemorate this. Thank you.
Come on. Thank you. All my buddies. Just come on down.
Come
Where's Mary?
come in the middle.
Thank you.
We've got a state proclamation too, don't
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Let's hold it that
That's the
way.
governor's proclamation.
Okay, perfect.
So where's Mary Kamali? She's gone?
She's right there.
Oh, good. She should join us. And Nanny, you came.
Mary's a Rotarian, is that right?
Yeah, she's in my club.
All right.
Thank you very much. Good.
All right, thank you. We'll now move to the consent agenda. Our first item on our regular meeting agenda is the consent agenda. Mr. Christopher, would you please come forward and read that for us, please?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. These are the items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings as written. Item 3A, act on liquor license application for Tipsy Chicken, 1933 West Main Street. Item 4A, act on bingo application for Rancho Riata Residents Association, 9828 East Pueblo Avenue. Item 5A, approving use of cooperative contracts for a term contract with renewal options for reservoir inspections for the Water Resources Department. This purchase is funded by Water and Wastewater Enterprise and Greenfield Joint Venture Funds. Item 5B, approving dollar limit increase to the term contract for public sewer and irrigation system cleaning, inspection, and rehabilitation services for the Water Resources Department. Item 5C, approving purchase of a full body scanner for the Mesa Police Department. This purchase is funded by American Rescue Plan Act grant funds. Item 5D, approving 3-year term contract with 2 years renewal options for contractor building maintenance services for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 5E, approving contract for wastewater manhole rehabilitation, Phase 13 project. Item 6A, approving resolution authorizing the city manager to accept Proposition 202 funds from the Gila River Indian community and administer awarded funds as pass-through grants to designated awardees. Item 6B, approving resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the Arizona Board of Regents for on or behalf of Arizona State University. ASU will provide technical assistance and training on crime analysis to the police department. Item 6C, approving resolution extinguishing a portion of an 8-foot public utility easement located at 1305 East Kramer Circle to accommodate construction of a new pool. Item 6D, approving resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Maricopa County concerning the relocation of the water and wastewater facilities on University Drive from Power Road to Higley Road. Item 7A, introduction of ordinance amending section 10-4-6 of the Mesa City Code to modify the existing speed limit from 30 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour on First Street between Mesa Drive and Country Club Drive, as recommended by the Transportation Advisory Board. Item 7B, introduction of ordinance for zoning case 22-340 for property generally located east of Power Road on the south side of Main Street, rezoned to the planned area development overlay and site plan review to allow for a multiple residence development. Item 7C, introduction of ordinance for zoning case 22-350 for property generally located north of the US 60 on the west side of Signal Butte Road. Site plan modification to allow for a mixed-use development. Item 7D, introduction of ordinance for zoning case 22-481 for property located south of Pecos Road and east of Haas Road, rezoned and site plan review to allow for an industrial development. Item 8A, approving ordinance for zoning case 22-260 for property located south of University Drive and west of Ellsworth Road, rezoned and site plan review to allow for development of a restaurant with a drive-through. Item 8B, approving ordinance for zoning case 22-388 for property located north of McKellips Road on the east side of Power Road, a rezone to allow for a dog training and boarding facility. Item 8C, approving ordinance for zoning case 21-792 for property generally located north of Germain Road and east of Haas Road, a rezone of the planned area development overlay and site plan review to allow for an industrial development. Item 9 is to approve ordinances relating to the Avalon Crossing Planned Community Development for property generally located east of Crismon Road, south of Williamsfield Road, and on the north side of the East 24 Gateway Freeway alignment. Item 9A is for zoning case 22-23, major modifications to the community plan and a rezone to allow for a single residence development. Item 9B is for zoning case 22-293, major modification to development unit plan 2. The community plan to allow for single residence development. Item 10 is to approve ordinances relating to the Legacy Business Park development. Item 10A is for annexation case 22-266, annexing property located north of Pecos Road on the east side of Ellsworth Road. Item 10B is for zoning case 22-268, rezone of the planned area development overlay and site plan review. Item 11 is to approve ordinances relating to the Geneva Villas development. Item 11A is for annexation case 22-161, annexing property located south of Brown Road on the west side of Crismon Road. Item 11B is for zoning case 22-162, rezone of the planned area development overlay and site plan review to allow for a single residence development. Item 12A, approving subdivision plat, lots 6, 7, and 8 of Mountain Vista Retail for property generally located south of Southern Avenue and north of the US 60. Item 12B has been removed from the consent agenda. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher. Ms. Mosley, are there any requests to speak on an item on the consent agenda?
No request.
All right, thank you. I see we have a motion made by Ms. Spilsbury, seconded by Mr. Thompson. Please vote. Thank you. The consent agenda passes unanimously. Next item on our agenda is item 12B. This is a subdivision plat referred to as Hawes Crossing Number 1. It's within the 3200 block of South Hawes Road on the west side and the 32 to 3500 block of South 82nd Street and 32 to 3500 block of South 80th Street. Is there a motion for approval of this item? Thank you, Mr. Luna. Is there a second? Thank you. Is there any discussion on this item? Mr. Thompson.
Yeah, this is again another Hawes Crossing residential component inside the loop, and I was opposed to residential inside the loop to begin with because I think it'll be detrimental to Gateway Airport, and so I will continue to vote no on every single Hawes Crossing residential component that comes before me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, so this was a zoning case that was decided a year or two ago, and I'll be voting for it for the reasons that I explained a year or two ago. So we have a motion and a second. Please cast your vote. Thank you. That passes 6 ayes with Mr. Thompson voting no. That next item on our agenda is items from citizens present. Ms. Mosley, do we have any requests to speak?
No request.
Thank you very much. That concludes the items on our agenda for today. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting? Thank you, Mr. Luna, seconded by Mr. Thompson. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. We are adjourned.